dangerous. Get dangerous. Shameless. Basic. Shameless. Get dangerous. That's right.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me ballin'. With my range up. Look at me ballin'. Not be famous.
Okay, good morning. Let's get this going, guys. Let's get this going. A couple things we want to pay attention to for this session here. We're going to be paying attention to 29,100s as we have a major negative GEX above that level. So depending on how we deal with that, if we're able to get through this level, we may see acceleration higher. We also have a large negative delta or GEX down below 29,000, so we'll be watching for that. Got a little bit of support around 80. You see some positive GEX here. So buyers do accept above the 80 level here, possible that it could become an important pivot. So kind of just watching here going into New York. We hold above 29,000s. We'll see, if that's the case, then maybe we start looking for reclaims higher and push that 80 level. That's kind of where I'm at right now, just looking at things. Let's pull up the hourly chart. So we can see overnight, the hourly, we're still within Friday's overall value. So kind of watching to see how they deal. Again, like I mentioned, 29,000s. And then from here, maybe we get some type of little push. Maybe taking out the overnight high from Friday. We've taken out RTH high from Friday, but not the overnight high from Friday. So we can already see a little bit of structure here that they've built out overnight. So we'll see if this ends up holding up or if they end up just taking it back down and dumping it down. But there's no catalyst today. It's Monday. There's no news. There's no nothing. So we're going to just let, you know, the flows and the market and price action kind of give us the insight on what we need to be doing here today. So again, took some trades overnight. It was actually really good last night. A lot of good moves overnight. We'll see, you know, so we kind of have a good lay of the land here. All the levels and updates now. Let's just pop it here real quick. Show you guys what we're working on here. So for the folks who already have access to this, you just log in. Actually, where I think I have to publish it. 1 second. Yeah, so moving forward, how it works is we have our daily outlook already built out. So you just click on view outlook and you'll be able to see exactly what we're looking at coming into the session. In this case, this is for the Nasdaq. We'll also have this for ES. And eventually we'll roll out some other symbols and stuff like that. But we can already see upside scenarios, downside scenarios, all the gamma levels for the auction map that we're going to be paying attention to. Want to see the full auction map? It's all broken down right over here. So we already know the major important levels that we're going to pay attention to. So our expected move low 28,323, expected move high 29,212. So how much of that have we already reached? Yeah, okay. So we'll have a lot. We still have room up big time. So we'll see what we can do with that. And then of course we have our call resistance level here, 2980, and that's kind of the short-term area that we're going to be paying attention to when the market opens. As far as the price action map, we also have the breakdown. So if you already have access to this, I'm not going to go through it right now, but you can definitely just read that before the market opens, and in that way you can understand the important levels. And then of course get the levels on your chart, so when you are taking these trades, or before you take your trades, you already have an idea of what are the most important levels to be paying attention to. Okay, we got 5 minutes left here till the open. Market is currently in negative gamma. So we're going to expect that. We're going to see dealers, the impact of that should be reinforcement of these moves. So as we break higher, we should see price continue to push through these highs and vice versa. So here. All right, good luck everybody. 5 minutes into chat here. Same game plan as usual. I technically already have a little bit of a buffer here. So I don't know, we'll see, but it is Monday. There's no catalyst. Kind of wonky right now. But yeah, we'll just let price this hourly. I'm just paying attention to the hourly. So far, we've had this hourly grind up overnight. So not going to try to like counter that unless we do see some actual failure rejection. And then obviously reclaims of 29,000. So we're just going to see what we do here, what we get. Where is that? Okay. Yes, today's GEX levels. Here. Just take a screenshot and then just right here. Take a screenshot of that real quick. So that way, I mean, for me to read it out one by one, we'll be here for like, you know, it's not necessary. Just take a screen. Can you see it? You should be able to see it. Take the screenshot. The main levels you want to be paying attention to, be watching here right now is going to be 29,100. That's our next overhead negative GEX that we have. And then we've got a call wall, but it's also, we got some positive GEX under price at 29,000. I'm sorry, 29,080. So it's above price. And then below that, our major negative GEX is going to be 29,000. So now this is from end of day. We're also going to be watching what goes on in real time. So let's take a screenshot of that so you have it. Exactly. fade to 100s, fade to 160s. Yeah. So at that point, we would expect prices to go into more of a mean reversion type characteristic. We got a X4 right here on our levels here, so we can actually run these highs, start overnight high. So that would be the 8:30 or pre-8:30 high, 7:30 a.m. high. Hourly chart there in front of us here, so we have it. So just kind of watching this little structure here. We can obviously see how they are just creating these. They've trying to create this little bullish breakout situation here. You know, we got this nice little bull flag. We've got this extension. And, you know, so we'll just kind of watch to see, again, that 100 level super important. You know, if we begin to start holding this 900 or 9,000 major level, then we can obviously get that push, and then we watch to see. But right now we're getting that retest of the 9,000. So they just retested the level, and we're currently outside of overnight value. So we'll see if they're going to be able to accept above and push higher, or if we end up rotating back down. And if we do, we already know that negative level down below. Oh, my computer feels a little laggy here. 29,000 is the big level. So if we break down through 29,000, this thing could accelerate lower. All right. How come this did not plot? Ah. All right, good luck, everybody. 30 seconds in. Let's see what we get here. Take it easy. Keep your eye on those three price levels, 29,100, 29,080, and then 29,000 below. So once we start hitting these levels, then we can start making some adjustments. We'll be watching also here top left. Oh, you can't see that on my chart. All right, here's that open. Let's see. What up, Mike? How are you, buddy? Hit that record button. All righty, here we go. Sure. So 29,080, major positive level here. Let's see if we can push into this level here, this green line. Let's see if they get there. Watching. So, nothing yet for me, just watching. There's a move. There's the expansion towards that level. We'll see if we guys reject that level here. Probably go after overnight highs here, 29,110s. We had this breakout, pullback. They held to 200 midpoint. So really simple structure here. We had a breakout, then there's a pullback, and now we have the continuation move. We got some asks, some offers showing up here, 113 contracts. There's our overnight, not yet, almost. Hourly is pushing higher. There's the overnight high. Are they going to fail here. We could use positive gamma. I would not be trying to fade this just yet, guys. Just waiting. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. I'm not trying to fade this at all. Watching here, breaking through the 100 level. We're now coming to 125s. Let's keep our eyes peeled here. They're going to be able to get to these offers up above. Got a large 200 contract sitting at 200s. Let's see. Are they going to be able to hold this overnight high, or do we fail here? We got 30 seconds for this next 5-minute candle. So far, here's what's happened overnight. I'm sorry, from 9:30, we just had a breakout, pullback, simple pullback continuation move. We can see that they're building some positive gamma here. So overall, net positive on the net GEX. Let's see. So obviously we can see this is pushing higher and higher and higher. But for how high are we going to go here? I'm just going to stay coachable to the chart. Taking a look at my GEXA AI right now. Let's pull up all three, see what's going on there. Yeah, all three are currently in positive gamma. QQQ showing us here, according to these guys here. So we should be expecting some rotation, but obviously we're not seeing that as of yet. Price is pumping. That's one. You're showing up. Let's pull up the book map real quick. Guys, it's not really about catching the top, right? You know, this is more about being patient and allow the market, allow the structure to confirm. Because you can have the right idea but the wrong timing, right? Right idea but the wrong timing. Major positive now is at 29,370s. Okay. At this book map here, as we begin to start going inside of a cage between 150s and 125s. Let's see if we get some pump right through this 150 and take out these offers that we got sitting at 200, the 29,200s. Have a big contract, actually 1,000 contracts here, right at 150s, and then 1,000 contracts set up at 200s here. So this is the actual Nasdaq here. So let's see if we get these. They stack the bid here, small bids, but let's see if they use that to pump and then pull. Pump and pull. ES is gapped up and pumping, coming into its major GEX level here at 7550, 550s. 200 level is going to be the magnet, and then we potentially reach our one-day max level, 212s. Kind of wish I bought that breakout right here. That would be the breakout right here. But we'll see. There'll be opportunities. Always are. Take it one day at a time. Guys, haven't hit the like button yet, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Appreciate the support. We begin to start building this channel out. And we can see NetGex is just increasing. Let me get rid of the book map so you guys can see. Let's get rid of the hourly chart so I can see. No. All right, let's see if we get some exhaustion here. But still early, so see what happens. We got nice little rejection here of the 175 level. And this will be a test of the VWAP at 100s. And let's see what happens here. Beginning to see and hear some heavy selling coming in. So just be careful here. Be careful here. It's retesting the overnight high. Don't want to be shorting necessarily until we actually can get a structural break, just to be safe. Watch what happens here if they're going to reclaim. Or if we end up failing, let's see. Looks like they're going to try to drive it back up one more time here. Let's see. Watching the 150 level here. This is where we watch the book map, right? This is where you want to pay attention to the book map. Let's put the book map on real quick so we can just watch what happens as we approach the level. Testing the VWAP, the first pullback for RTH VWAP from after the expansion here. So we're testing 125. We're now supporting 125. So let's see if they're going to be able to hold this area here, right? So right now we're dealing with this control. Sellers came back in, just smacked it back under 150s. But we've not gotten a meaningful break below the 125 level. So let's see if they're going to be able to do so. Careful here, guys. Green dot means reclaim. The reclaim right there. So just be careful with that. Taking a quick scalp here, targeting 200s. Do a quick cut if it fails. Not really liking how it rejected there at that 150. Let's see if they can get back through it. Watching. Book map. Buyers don't get stuffed here. 3 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Looking for a drive to 200s. Can we get there? Can we get to 200s? My flip is my stop. Next flip. Watching 150s. Come on, boys. Stay above 150. Don't yank. Don't yank me. Let's see. Those are building. Let's go. Uno mas. Uno mas. Let's break that. Let's break this high. Let's break that high, guys. Vámonos. Let's go. Stop break even in case it wants to yank. Risk free, baby. Come on. There we are. Very good. There's the break going for 200s. There's 25 points. Come on now, get it done. Get it done. Get it done. I'll just take my 25 points right there, guys. I'll just see my 25 points right there. Got the 15-minute candle closing in 2 minutos. So what does that mean? Be careful. When candles close after expansion, like let's say they expand, we got time left, they're going to probably yank it there just a little bit, right? So here they go. This might be the actual move. Fake out, breakout, and now we trap low. Boom, right? Those are my favorite shorts. We get the breakout to the upside. You guys can't see this, hold on. Breakout to the upside. We're in positive gamma, right? So this area, right? Climate control. What that means is moves are going to be dampened. So let the acceleration happen. People are going to buy the strength, thinking breakout, and then it's going to usually, like we'll see some type of rotation. Plus timing. Always pay attention to the timing of it. The only thing I'm concerned is, you know, why I'm not going to short it yet is because we got big size right above. There's over 1,000 contracts sitting on the Nasdaq at 200s. Actually, not anymore. They pulled it. Sorry, they pulled it. No longer there. No longer there. So they pulled that. They pulled those offers there. Just hit F5, right? If you hit F5, you'll see they pulled it, but I'm not going to hit F5 right now because there's a lot going on my chart. There we go. Here's the break for the IB. Let's see if they can take out the 200, and then from there we can reassess. I'm going to try to make 100 points today per account. I already have a buffer from overnight, like about $1,000. Trading small size last night, scalping. So we'll see if we can maybe double it. This week's a big week for the group. Got a lot of things happening. We just released the dashboard. So for those folks, you should already have access. If you don't have access to it, let me know. We'll get you access to it. It's going to be sick. Sick, sick, sick. To be honest with you, I built it really for me. I wish I had all the tools that I wish I had, you know, coming through the game. And I think I would have avoided losing so much money if I would have had the tools that we're going to be putting into this thing. All right, let's watch now. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Oh, by the way, we made some updates to the liquidity levels. You notice that they were there and now they're faded because that means that they were either pooled or they were filled. So now we no longer keep them on the chart so they don't keep, you know, stay in the way. So look at price here pulling back to this breakout level. We kind of like that. I kind of like that. Let's see if we can maybe get that rotation to the bottom here. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, they just teased. They just teased the opening range high. So there's the short. Let's see if we can actually take out this bid. Oh, look at the bid here. Watching that bid. They're playing with the bid. And we fill this bid. We're still, you know, 150 still at support level. There's 15 points. Let's see if we can maybe get a retest here. I don't want them to drive it back up again. So right now we've got this breakout level here. This red line here, 164's 0 gamma now. So look, volume's still pretty strong here. So buyers are still in control. The flows are still bullish, but we are in positive gamma environment. So we're going to expect mean reversion, rotation. It's just a matter of waiting for the proper signal. You're not in too early. Can we get another 25 points here? Can we do it? Can we get it? I don't know. I'm just going to take that for 15 points because structurally we're still bullish. We have not invalidated the bullish price action. You can obviously look at the order flow. You can look at all these other tools and stuff, but the truth of the matter is you got to wait for price structure. So you got to respect the structure. So the reason why I took it was because we had this breakout and then we broke back inside. It's called a reclaim, right? So it's a reclaim. This level here, let me try to change that color for y'all. But let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. We'll put that orange. There we go. Ugly colors. But we're up 2 for 2 so far on the stream, guys. 2 for 2. I haven't taken any dumb trades. Okay, let this load here for a second there. All right, there we go. So this is what it is. Look, this is we had a break right here, structural break, boom. And we're counting breaks because with Renko, it's very funny because it's very uniform, it's very structured, very different than candlesticks. I feel like it's a lot more organized, but this is the 7th bullish break in a row. So that's suspect. Okay, that is suspect. Usually after 3 or 4, you start seeing some rotation, right? So we got that opening range high. There was large size at 200, and they couldn't fill. They didn't reach it. They didn't get to it. And if they could have gotten to it right there at that 15-minute breakout, they had the opportunity. So people who bought the breakout here, guess what? They're not happy right now. Why? Because now they're beginning to fail. When we failed above 175, we failed back inside our breakout level. So now this becomes a reclaim. We have large bids getting filled. So this is what we're going to probably see them do now, is give us the bearish break. And then we watch to see if that accepts or fails. And if it accepts, we should see price maybe make an attempt to get back up and then crash. Right? That's one scenario there. So they're going to invalidate these buyers right now. They're about to stop them out here at 125s. So we shall see. Let me take those lines off. I don't like the lines, actually. We'll just leave the lines for now. So we got a first bearish break. So these are really fun, right? This is really fun because when you can anticipate these moves, I mean, they happen very quick, very quick. But look at the flows, right? Look at the net gags. It's 1.4 positive gags, right? So that means the flows have been bullish this entire time. They're still building. We still have major positive above. So we understand that dealers are going to be hedging when we're in this green block here. So this is why it's acceptable to do this. You just have to do it at the right time, right? You have to just kind of wait, and this is where discretion comes in and experience of looking at a chart. And, I know everyone wants like a perfect signal, an automated, signal, and it's very difficult to do that sometimes. So the closest thing I have is like a combination of structure and then a volatility flip, which is this little dot here. That's like the closest thing I could come up with to kind of time it automatically. But those are the 2 trades so far. We got long on the break of this internal high, right? The boys failed to take out 125, and we had the VWAP as well, right? So that was the RTH VWAP. We could see the sellers trying once, they've dumped it, tried twice, they dumped it, tried a 3rd time, they dumped it, and then they failed. So on that failure, we got long, and then boom, caught the break. Wasn't trying to be greedy, even though we knew we had large offers at 200 above price, 29,200. But I was just like, let's not, because we're in positive gamma. You don't want to buy strength in positive gamma, right? You don't buy the breakout. So everybody who's thinking that we're about to go rip to the moon, we're going to recover this move down from 30,000s, hopefully they learned a lesson last week, because for the last week and a half, this is what they've been doing. Now there's the move. Is anybody still in this thing short? I think some of you guys were looking to get short off the 160s. Boom, look at that. And look at the net gex, like it just shrank. It went from 1.4 to now 879. So the flows are changing, folks, and that's what we want to see, because now we've got the net gex flows confirming, right? Confirming the move to the downside. Wow. Very nice, very nice. I should have held a little piece of that one there, but it's okay. It's okay, but that would have been the move right there. Look, the break on this low expansion, and it's more powerful because we had this strong move up. This is why whenever, if you see me like not taking trades, or if I'm trying to like if I have a bias, I'm like, well, I'm not going to short yet, just because we need to get more buyers in, right? Well, this is what we want. We want to see buyers get real comfortable, right? We want to see them, pushing, because every time they push, that's energy exerted, buyers forcing and hitting, taking out the offer. So aggression. And that's okay. The thing is, if I want to get short, I need to see that. I need the buyers to get exhausted. So that way, when the time comes, when they finally fail, it's like they're nowhere to be found. And then we get that fast move. And whether this thing runs 100 points or 50 points or whatever points, that's not what necessarily matters, at least for what I'm doing. What matters is that initial reaction. Trap traders, and then from here, from 29,119, that's that pivot. We've got a pretty explosive move. Not really. It's only 350 ticks, but nonetheless, look at this, like no pullback. So you look at a 5-minute chart right now, it's just like one big nasty death candle. Hourly chart looking funny as well. Take a look at the hourly candle here, creating a nice little rejection wick here. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until we actually confirm. If we can get closure underneath 9,000, 29,000s, then something. Otherwise, this is just a pullback. It just be a pullback, because if we're still technically, within this opening range, I mean, we could probably see some rotation. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Weird. We shall see. Take a look at the NQ really quick. So at 9,000 levels, our next major level to pay attention to. 29,000s, and below that we got major negative. So we start clearing through 979. Wash out. We're under 0 gamma right now here at 29,108. The 0 gamma line is at 104. We got a little break here. Are these boys going to start trapping now? What are they going to do? We're right back at New York Open. I would be careful about trying to short continuation after such a accelerated move, right? If you taking a short right now would basically be like chasing, right? It would be like chasing. Let the order flow do its thing. What is going on with the order flow? Pull up the 1-minute chart here. And it's interesting. If you look at my NQ chart here on the top right or top left, you'll see what they did. So they initially trapped some sellers here at 125. So people were trying to get short down here, right? And then they absorbed, right? So meaning there were some offers here, then price, boom, punch right through it. Then they started grinding, and at the highs, they placed the bid. As price was going higher, they stacked three clusters of 100 contract bids. They pulled it. They never filled. And then right when they did that, they stacked an offer for 100 contracts. You can see someone tried to buy here, and it didn't happen, right? And that's what you got to pay attention to, the reaction. And of course, combining that with the key level, we have GEX 5 here, 29,200s. We have the opening range high, and then they put an offer right there, and that offer, that's how you know, because of the reaction. So when you start understanding the order flow piece, you start watching it real time. It's not about, oh, there's an offer or there's a bid. Yeah, you want to note this. You want to be aware, like, oh yeah, look, they just threw 1,000 contracts right here. But what matters more importantly is what happens when they do that. What is the effective price? Wow, we just took out that overnight opening range low pretty easily. Let's go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Again, a little rain here sometimes. Let's keep it going. So now New York RTH is bearish. We are under the opening print. Will these boys have a chance to reclaim or retest at least? They just did a nasty double break here on the Renko charts. Check it out. So we had a big breakdown here, right? So we had our first boss level down here. Let me just pull this back up. I just can't see this. Let me take this off right now. Okie dokes. Let me also clean this up too. I'm getting all these. Get rid of these lines. Don't need these lines on my chart. As you can tell, I like lines. Alrighty. By the way, all the indicators that you see on this chart are now in the download section in the dashboard. We will have all the guides and videos coming out this week. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened here, right? So what happened was we had this break right here. This was the first break that we were watching, okay? Boom, break. Then these boys came in and bounced off the opening range, the opening print low, right? So they got everyone fired up to go ahead and short the opening range low, right? So you can see here, people trying to get that lower low. They trapped them. And then they created a break up, which didn't go anywhere. So it's a false break. And then notice how we had contracts for sale at 103 contracts clustered right there, right, literally right there. And then we get the reaction to breakdown, right? And these boys from there, boom, sellers took back control. And then obviously now we got that double break. So we get these double breakout patterns, you know, I call it the low, low trap high. I mean, I don't really have a name for it, but bottom line is it's like a trap, right? We know, we understand the concept of traps. You know, you know what a trap is, but you may not call it a trap. You know it's a trap because you think it looks one way, but it ends up being the other. Happens all the time. You go to Thailand, you probably experience that all the time. You know, she looks one way, but it happens to be a he, right? You know what I mean? I've never been to Thailand, so I don't know. But I live in Washington State, and it's pretty similar, right? So it's like a trap, right? And so and this is exactly what Nasdaq does nonstop all the time. So if you can understand that, and you can kind of like play the traps, and that's why the execution part for what I try to do here is try to get in on these traps. Let it look strong in the other direction, especially when we're positive gamma. Now, look, the sellers have taken complete control. Look at the net GEX, completely negative now and building. But can we actually really start building? Can we really start building? That's what we want to see. Can we really start building here? Finally, we updated here. You can take a screenshot. What price are we at right now? I need to take a look. See, let's take a look. See at the current lay of the land. Let's take a look. See, so this is. Where's 29,000? Right here. This is where we're playing right now. Our major negative gamma level right here. 29,000. So we can see that. And I think we're going to see some acceleration, more acceleration. Let's take a look at that hourly chart. Oh my goodness. They stuffed those buyers on the hourly chart. Look at that wick. Zoop. You can't see that on there. There we go. Look what they did there. But now we just watch to see here at 900, 9,000. If we get that expansion lower, obviously we can see we're trending lower. We've broken out. Made bigger, the big Renko right now. Big Renko showing me some bullishness. I mean, not bullishness, bearishness. We just had that first break right here on Big Boy Renko. But we are pulling back to the mid. So there's a possibility we might see some rotation here. We'll see. I'm going to try scalp long. Try scalp long here. Up already 10 points on that. 15 points. Can we get a retest of our boss level here? I don't know. They just stuffed everybody. So we'll see. Market is heavy, negative GEX, but look, it's shrinking. It's shrinking though. Let's see. I might regret this one. We're testing opening range low. Can we push back inside? Can the buyers get in, or the seller's going to basically interfere and smack them? Will they smack them? Let it pump. Let me get a retest of all these breakout levels. Well, there's 60, 20 points. Can I get my 25? I just need my 25, and then I can go home. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. No. A little bit more. You can do it. Come on, stop playing. We know it's a high probability that you're going to retest that New York Open, so why don't we just do it? There's my 25 points. There's my 25 points, baby. That 4 trades? Bruh, I'm on a runner right now. I'm cooking, son. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Nothing crazy. 1 long, 1 short. Is that it? 1 long. Okay, 3 trades. 3 trades. I'm not getting too excited here. I'll get him 100 points, bruh. For the RTH session. For RTH. Charm not supportive. What are you looking at? Are you looking at spot gamma? What do you use, bro? Let's see. You're in long now. I like it, but I'd be cautious here because structurally it's not for me personally. I don't know. I don't. It's a little too late for me. I gotta like do it early. I gotta get in early. Careful here. I'm gonna short it right now for a scalp. Let's see if we get some continuation here. Careful here, boys. Retest of these lows. Retest of these lows. No, don't you do it. Watching. This is where let's pull up the book map. Buyers are trying. They're stepping back in. So let's see if they're going to be able to reclaim here. Yeah, it looks like they're about to try to reclaim this level here. Let's see. Let's see. Watching. Watching. Can we get this? You know, they're not done. I think they're going to try to drive it higher one more time. Let's see. I may cut this here. Oh, new 5-minute bar. Oh, that's what it is. It's a new 5-minute bar. So be cautious here, guys. They're going to probably try to like smack this high here real quick, but I will cut quick. I'm still in it. That dot still got me in. I'm still in on that dot, bro. The red dot. There's another 10 points. I'm going, I don't know what to do. I don't like it. Let's see. Okay, I guess I like it now. Let's see if we can actually take out this 9,000 level. No, no, these boys are still here. Did we put on book map? I need to look at the book map. Let's take a look at the book map. Okay. Look at them. Look at them playing here at Gex1. All right. All right. Here we go. 25 more points. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah. Stops already break even since we went 15 points in profit, but I don't want to give it all back. I don't want to go negative because we are at an important level and they can easily swipe. They can get a buyers here playing here, trying to trap some sellers. They're trying to trap me, guys. Let's see if they can at least get down to 85s. How about I just like not be greedy and just take that profit? What do you guys think? Huh. Let's just take that profit. I'll take it for a little 13 points. 85 is probably where I would have taken that final profit there. But boom, there it would have gone. It would have gone. It would have gone. It would have gone. So now it's 4 little trade. That trade, I don't know, you know, I'll count it because I made some money, but it's not like, you know, only like 13 points. Oh, it's a little bit more than 13 points. No, it's 13 points. 13 points. Let them take back control and then run these highs. So we're now 4 in. 4 for 4, baby. 4 for 4. Cuatro for cuatro. I don't speak Spanish, but I should because I'm half Puerto Rican, but I don't know what happened there. Okay, watch how they trap some peoples here. We're going to watch to see if they're going to trap some buyers or who's going to get trapped. This is one of these trappy dots here. You got the big buyer right here. that came in. So let's see if this is a meaningful interference by the buyers here at the major 9,000 level, which is also right at 0 gamma. So it is going to be the important decision pivot at the moment. But look at what we got overhead. We got some major resistance here. These red lines here showing boss breaks, bro. We got these boss breaks. This was a reclaim that ended up becoming a reclaim, a bullish reclaim into a bearish reclaim, right? So boys got trapped twice. Buyers got trapped, sellers got trapped. And now we're testing here. We do got some volume coming in, but nothing meaningful for me. Nothing on the book that says, hey, pay attention. Nothing showing up other than where we're at, location. We're underneath opening range low. We can see net GEX is still positive. So we're kind of balanced right now, and we're at 0 gamma, right? So this is that threshold where the weather begins to change. Do we stay positive, in the short term? Do we get negative in the short term? Let's see what happens here. And of course, this can change because obviously as flows change, this is going to change things for folks. So watching here, we got some nice closure. But be careful because it looks really strong to the downside on this closure. If you're looking, that's the problem with candlestick charts, right? You see a big engulfing candle, it looks strong, but remember what I said, you don't want to sell the big candles if it's to the downside, right? You don't want to sell big bearish candles, you don't want to buy big bullish candles, right? Especially when we're hanging out above 0 gamma here, because they're going to play things here. Epoch chop is about right. VPOC chop is about right. Yeah, I mean, just we look at structure, like I feel like, until we actually get some confirmation, higher time frame, like we're gonna see this thing continue to absorb sellers. So as long as a higher time frame structure is bullish, it's gonna support the efforts of the buyers. But we can't ignore. So what happens is there's that smaller, faster time frame trend, and then you have the larger time frame trend. This is like just pure basic price action stuff, right? So this is where we're dealing with, because right now, look at the level here. Even if you take everything off the charts, you don't know shit about order flow or anything like that, just look. This candle here, it's basically a mother bar. We know what a mother bar is? It's the bar that contains the candles. It's like a cage. Price tried to escape it to the upside at 110s, no bueno, sorry, rejected. And now they're trying to escape it to the downside at 963s. It's possible, they can definitely do it. Right? They can definitely do it, but the truth of the matter is they're going to need to get through this first, right? To give us a true meaningful opportunity where they can really have a chance of actually breaking the trend structure. And they can do it, right? We know that this is the magnet for price at 860. This is our overnight POC. Actually, it's our current POC. Oh, so yeah, it's the POC for the entire week so far because I have a weekly POC on my chart. Is that what this is? Nope, sorry, this is the daily one. I have a daily POC. How come it hasn't updated? That is super weird. I figure it would have updated. Is this daily or weekly? Oh no, it is weekly. Okay, but still should have updated. I don't know why. I'll update it. I'll refresh it and see if that's what it is. This is Ninja Trader's volume profile. I have like 1,000 variations of volume profile. I don't know. I always end up just using Ninja Trader's native volume profile, which is like not even that great, but whatever. So this is where we're at right now. That nice big dump there. So they did hit it. But pay attention to that 963 level, right? 963. I mean, they can easily get through it, and if they get through it, then the next level would be 909s on the hourly chart. So that's big. That's the big chart. We can see we're underneath. So this is the other part. 10 o'clock open. They had the chance here at 10 o'clock. Oops. Hourly. At 10 o'clock, they had the chance to reclaim. The buyer came in, couldn't do it. There was the buyer again, trying again. And then they failed right there. There's that important pivot. And what do we have? That vulnerable low. That vulnerable low, it gets stopped out. And then we get the volume to confirm. Look at the 124 contracts that came in. 200 contracts that came in. Meaning they hit the bid. They aggressively hit the bid. And we got the reaction. So this is kind of like the textbook play that if you're going to see, I mean, if you're in the Discord, I haven't been posting much yet because we're still building a bunch of back end stuff, but you're going to start seeing all the same type of repetitive trades over and over again. And for me, it's like easier to see it with a Renko chart. Obviously, we look at everything to put the pieces together, but I mean, it's not that difficult. 10 o'clock opens, they drive lower, they drive higher. So that's the initial fake out move, right? They call that the fake swing. The most important thing aren't these little fluctuations, because I know that's the problem with Renko. you know, it can be noisy in the sense that if you're looking at smaller Renkos, you see like a lower low, lower high, oh, break a structure. But for us, we're not looking at that. We're looking at volatility swings. So the true pivot's right here, you know, way up here. So as long as that pivot's good, like, you know, Fibonacci, not that I really use it, but if you have a Fibonacci, you would be like, oh, look, it's just a pullback to the 786, right? Or 618 or whatever it is. And that is technically the opportunity to get short on that pullback. Boom, right there, which is the one we did take, but I didn't stay in it. And then they pull back again, and boom, we get another one here. So it's like, hello. And now we're just melting. And net gex is negative now, right? Net gex is negative. Net gex is negative. That's funny. Say that 3 times fast. Net gex is negative. Alrighty, what do we got here? So I'm 4 trades in. It's early too. It's only 10:13. We could probably make some more money here. And what a great job we have, right? Being traders. I think it is truly the best business to be in. The hardest, but it's also, I think, the best. It's not the hardest. I mean, there's a lot more harder things to do. Trust me. Trust me. I've done them. A lot more difficult businesses you could be in. I'd rather be a trader managing risk than, like, I don't know, managing people. You know what I mean? Like, especially dumb people. That's like the worst. All right. Let's see. This is going to be a fake out. This is going to be a fake out here. So you see how we have that break of structure here? It's boss 5 already. I'd be very cautious here shorting. Price needs to rebalance here just a little cinch, a little bit. A little bit. Needs to rebalance a little bit. We're testing the overnight VWAP. You got to have both VWAPs on your chart. You need the RTH VWAP. You need the 24-hour Globex VWAP. Very important references. So Globex VWAP, I don't think you see it on this chart, but they are on all my other charts. 944. Look at that. Trap. Let's see if they're going to trap right here. Watch that little pivot there, that little high, that lower high, green dot. Highly likely they're going to bust that pivot and reclaim 9,000s, and then probably stop everyone out at that 9,040 level. We'll see. I'm still watching. There's still time. It's a new 15-minute candle. So whenever, again, a new candle opens up, you're going to see this type of action, and it looks like it's about to, like, oh my gosh, but maybe not. So just be careful. Always pay attention to time. It's easy to lose track of time on Renko because they are price-based, not time-based. We've added the new modules for folks who are learning Renko or just beginning to start using it. It's called the Renko Framework. A couple quick videos in there just breaking down the basics, nothing crazy. The crazy stuff should be coming here in the next week or two. The crazy stuff, the fun stuff. Let's take a look at the 1-minute chart. Where are we with the 1-minute chart? Let's take a look-see. So we've got some levels to note. Where's the battlefield? Well, 29,000 is that pivot. We can see we rejected and failed to hold above, what's the level? 50 would be the level. So the area to pay attention to was 50. Where was the last level we broke out for? So look at 930 here. That 930 pivot broke out. All the buyers came in. Boom. Then you had the last buyer who tried to buy the pullback from the base, right? This guy was trying to buy support. Like, I'm going to buy support. I saw a YouTube video on how to buy support. And so he bought support, and then he ended up supporting the bears because his stop losses became fuel for the move down. And so that's going to be an important level, right? I don't think we'll see much there, but the next level is right here, 75s. We can see they did the same thing, came back down, which is our Globex VWAP, 75s. They tried to, and this is the opening print, so you kind of have to understand it's going to be noisy, right? But then from here, this is the retest here, right? So there you go. This is traditional support resistance. Boom. So the homie over here who bought, well, guess what? He got trapped, and then now they resold on that retest, which happens to line up with the New York Open print, which is an important level. Okay, levels are important. That's the first thing I always look at. Don't look at patterns first. Look at levels first. And then from there, you start seeing the same scenario. Buyers try to get involved again, trying to hold the 9,000 level. Buyers came in once, buyers came in twice, and boom, liquidated again, right? So that's what's happening here. But the key right now is 950s, and below 950s, what we want to watch is 906s. Further down, we've got the big levels, way down here, 768, 780s, this cluster down below. So we may have one of these days where if structure continues to hold as it is, just basics. I mean, why couldn't they just form a very nice organized structural trend that just keeps going lower and lower and lower? They can do that, but that's not how the Nasdaq moves, guys. Watch this 850 level. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something funny with this 850 level. All right. No, nothing for me right now. Why? Well, I'm just watching. Just watching. They are playing horrific games right now. Who's making money right now? Sellers are making money, but what type of sellers? Right? Sellers who are following market structure and the moving average, right? When I say that, like for futures traders, obviously it's a little different for other type of traders, but you know, the reality is if you're taking these trades, you're in the money, right? And as long as you're taking the profits on the breaks, you're good. Like otherwise, these guys just gave back. Whoever sold this breakout, as an example, like you're taught to sell the break, boom, he's trapped. So he's losing money right now, right? But overall, the sellers have made the most money so far. And so right now, these buyers are trying to defend this level, but I don't know, man. I don't see that they're able to do it. We pay attention to what's going on with the flows. NetGex has kind of stayed negative up in this area, so they are definitely spending some time here. Let's see if this time spent at 10 o'clock. It's already 10:19. If we're going to see expansion away from 9,000 level, right? Are they going to just kind of chop around here for the 10 o'clock hour? It kind of looks like it. We have not really made any meaningful move away from the open print for 10, right? We moved up, what was that, 0.2%, moved down 0.2%. So we are perfectly balanced for this 30-minute auction. Yes, we are. But we are balanced. And because we're balanced, this is going to be rotation type scenario. But the problem right now is the sellers, right? Well, what I would look at is until we actually get through this 950 and accept, I would be very cautious. They are kind of like consolidating right there by the VWAP. There we go. There we go. There's some speed. But can they succeed in holding this expansion? So far, I mean, they're stepping down. Boom, pull back. Watch right here. What time is it? New 5-minute candle. Sellers need to lock these guys out. They need to kind of just break out, right? We need that breakout here. I'm not in this trade, folks. I am not in this trade at the moment. We're just watching the cage. There's a cage, right? Let's see if these boys can escape the cage. There you go. We got the closure through. Can they continue to hold and we get that momentum to the downside? I think we might see it because we're seeing the flow stay heavy. Let's look at Bookmap. Look at the Bookmap now. We have some support down at 900s. Let's see if they're going to knock out these 900s. Is this our lug level at 906s? Yeah, so that's where we got to be cautious. But so far, we're seeing it. We're beginning to get that move through. Anybody catch any of these trades? Any shorts? Or the long at the beginning? Okay. What these guys are going to do here. Kind of Vietnamese there real quick. What these guys going to do here? I can say that because my kids have Vietnamese, so I can make fun of Vietnamese accents. I'm also half Asian too, so I can do that, right? If you're Asian, you can make fun of Asians. All right, let's see. Cage. What time is it? It is 10:22. Ah, okay. Yeah, let them. So look at this very nice expansion up and then beautiful meltdown. It just feels too calm. Feels too calm. There we go. Let's see now. We got that flip here, retesting this breakout level. We're testing that range, that breakout. Can they stay out? That's the real question. Can the breakout stay out? Oh, watch here for 950s. Watch here for 950. It might be a break back in. I'm considering a scalp here. Let's see if we get a break back in. Might regret it, but I'm going to take a scalp. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna inside I do in the community we do but I'm gonna drop some stuff on YouTube for sure, because I know obviously it's kind of pointless for me to show my trading over. And again, another 15 points. Let me take that profit. I'm taking that profit, gang. Taking that profit for another 15 points. Man, they're crushing it today. All right, yeah, this doesn't make sense for me to like show all this stuff, and people are like, I don't even know what the heck this is, and it kind of becomes something not worth watching because it's just noise, right? For folks who don't have any of these tools or don't understand it. But yes, I will put some stuff out there. It's a very straightforward model. It's momentum. It's basically momentum. As you can see, I'm just kind of scalping around these levels and the timing of things, and there's the goal isn't to catch a 100-point trade. The goal is to make 100 points over a series of trades. It just so happens with the model, it's because we use the 30-minute or the hourly time frame, and then we combine that with the overall weather of the gamma environment. These trades can go from like 10, 15 points to 50 to 100 points. And if you've been on the stream over the last couple days, you've probably seen a couple of those trades that we caught, and how we manage a trade and stay in the trade, and what we're using for invalidation and all that. By no means is the system perfect, or like 100% that you're going to make money with it. But I think at least for the way my brain works, I feel like I'm better. I can execute much cleanly and more consistently this way. I've tried everything through the years. I've tried everything. Nothing worked except for when I started using this type of stuff, the Renko stuff. But yeah, the website is dynastytradingsystems.com. You can check it out. There's some stuff on there. We got everything, all the indicators. But as far as all the indicators you see here, we were updating all the guides. Some of the stuff that we have are from like 3-4 years ago, but we've obviously since then have made a lot of updates. So all the new indicators are there, the guides and the videos and the framework. Most of it's there, but we do have some updates coming this week. Within that dashboard, you're going to have access to all the gamma information, our outlook for the whole session. Soon we'll have the AI component, which is going to literally be reading the auction, at least from how we use it for our specific use case. Yeah, courses here. You guys can check it out right here. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like one day. That's the Discord. Let's close the Discord there. Let's get rid of the minute chart app. This is what it will look like here. You get in. It has your journal as well, so you will be able to plug in your trades. It's a performance journal. It also have all the stuff for your prop firm. So if you're trading props, you can plug in all the data, accounting, so you can start keeping track of that. That's actually coming this week. And the AI commentary is coming, the analytics side, where we're going to be integrating your journal with AI, with our model, with the gamma and everything else. So then when you come here, it's going to be almost like a personalized, mentor coach. It'd be like paying for a coach, like an actual trading coach. Something like that. Hey, look, we're reclaiming, but we're still in the cage, guys. We're still in the cage, right? Let's go back to the cage. Remember the cage. Right? So that was that failure swing down there. You got to just respect the chart, man. I mean, if there was ever a thing, it'd be like, be coachable to the chart. Coachable to the chart. That's where it gets difficult, because you learn concepts and you like, the price is supposed to do this because of this thing I learned, but it has nothing to do with your idea. It has everything to do with what's happening in the moment. And the one truth that is undeniable is what's happening in the now, right? It's what's happening in the now, and that's why Workflow traders, I think they have the best edge, because they can see what's happening in the now. They can see like, oh look, boom, big buyer, big seller, passive buyer, passive seller. That's the now. That's what's happening in the moment. Yeah, it sure does. It sure does, buddy. Sure has everything in there. It has everything from the basics. So right now we have the base of Renko framework, right, which is the basics for Renko. So if you don't know, if you don't have experience using Renko, or at least the type of Renko I use, because there's a lot of different variations of Renko, there's that framework. And then there's the price action part one, which is just basics. So some folks don't actually have a good base of price action knowledge. But I think that's super critical. I think it's super important. It's probably the first thing you should learn is like the basics of price action. And then we have all the Renko stuff. Oh, you're already a trader, bro. Mentor Q levels. Yeah, Mentor Q levels. I love Mentor Q. I have Mentor Q. I use Mentor Q. I use GexBot. I use Gexa AI. I used to use some Spot Gamma stuff. Just felt like it was a little much for what I was doing. So I'm just scalping the Nasdaq. I mean, it's really helpful if you're trading options, if you're, taking more long-term position trades and stuff like that. But I'm just scalping like as a day trader. But yeah, what you see on this chart here is my stuff, and then GexBot. I have GexBot. What else? That's basically it. Oh, and then the big trades indicator, which we're actually building that out or rebuilding it or building it so we can give it to everybody. The big trades would basically be what you see here. Pretty much like a footprint chart, but simplified, right? You only just see like the most important, meaningful stuff. I guess, I mean, I've been using this for like, I don't know, like a couple of years. So I was using NinjaTrader's actual version of it. They actually have one. Kind of basic though. I think now it's becoming trendy. You gotta love YouTube, right? Reclaiming. Yeah, we also have automation too, by the way. So you can see here, like I actually use most of the time auto entries to get into these trades. So like these dots are how we execute, like right here, green dot. So we literally can do all that right there, right? We can do that. We can pop them in. So the auto trades manages your trade, but it's not meant to be full auto. It's semi-auto. You just have to know when to turn it on, turn it off, right? Turn it on, turn it off. All right, what these boys gonna do? They just broke out of the cage on the 1 minute. I know they were gonna do that. Well, we knew that because of the level, right? So even without looking at anything, we can just look here. We knew there was a cage. And the real test was, were they gonna be able to take control and stay out? But they broke back in. So they went outside to play for just a little bit, for a minute and a half, went back inside, and said, okay, let's go back to the other side. And now they're going to take out homeboy over here at 29,050s. Yep, everything's included, bro. Everything, man. I figured it's the easiest way to do it, right? Like just all in one. I personally don't have, I'm not trying to like sit there and manage like an indicator thing and then a course thing and then a journal thing. Like I don't have time for that, sorry. But yeah, single membership, all in one. You can try it, use it, cool, whatever you like. You want to just use, some folks just use my indicators for the Renko. They don't even care about the journal. The journal just got built, so most people aren't even using it yet. But they don't care about the courses because they're already like, well, I'm already leveled up in my knowledge. I don't really need to worry about, how to trade or whatever. They just want to learn the basics of the framework. So they watch that, use the tools, and boom, that's it. And then I never hear from them again. I literally have a guy who who bought it or got the stuff like 3 years ago. Never heard from him after he watched everything, used all the tools, and still uses the tools. And then I think like 6 months ago, he sent me an email. It was like, oh, I saw that you added this and this and this. I just want to let you know, based on what I've been using, I'm not using your new stuff. I'm using the old stuff, and I've been using the old stuff ever since, and it's changed my life. And I was like, well, isn't that great? So it's just whatever it is that you need, and maybe you try it and you're like, that I don't really need it. It's not really for me, and that's fine too. All good in the hood. Oh, let's see. These boys are back at the opening range low retesting. But you know what? Let's pay attention to this. Let's pay attention to the big boy Renko here real quick. Let's watch what's going on here. So this is worth noting here, right? So we got this breakout structure right here. These boys right here. This was the pullback to get long, got the higher high, and then they just took everybody out. And now we're beginning to pivot and reclaim. So the question right now is, do we get back outside? So the bigger Renko is showing us that, okay, we got this potential scenario where price could either go and take this out and we get that lower low and then reach the expected low, or GEX2, right? That area, take out this area here. Or we might start seeing chop and mean reversion since we're technically right at our New York Open. So right now, you got to be careful trying to be a trader and try to take any entries right now, because this is like no man's land. Once again, we are inside of a cage on the Renko chart now. So that's the cage. So we broke out, broke back in, broke down, broke back in. We're in the mid. In the mid. Do I have supply and demand zones? I'm glad you asked. That is exactly what you see here. But these are not just regular supply and demand zones. These are actually calibrated for our volatility. Everything is based on the same math. So the market structure, let me just put this here. Oops. Oh. So market structure, right? You see the zigzags here? Okay, that's showing us the market structure. These dots, right? This band here, okay? And then the zones. They're all part of the same math. So I don't care about, like, you know, for instance, some people might say that this is a supply zone right here. We got a reversal bar and it created a meaningful move. Yeah, okay, cool. That's not a supply zone for me. Supply zone for me would be up here. Hence why we got that red zone up top. Right here. This is the demand zone. This green little zone right here. And this is built specifically for Renko. I mean, you could put it on a regular chart, like a candlestick, but I don't recommend it. And it's built specifically for the Renkos that I use. So if you use like a Ninja Renko, it might work. It might work. I use Unirenko, which are free. You can just Google Unirenko and just download them. No, I did have that. We did use that, but you know, for how I trade, I mean, what you just do, I mean, most of the time you just have two different Renkos and then you just throw them on the bigger chart. But I didn't find that it was giving me any edge on my smaller Renko. I just found that it was really noisy, because instead of having a nice small zone, I'd have like some big zone like this, because the Renko was so much bigger, and it just was like not helpful. Because at the end of the day, the purpose of using a Renko or a small Renko versus a big Renko, you want both. You want a big Renko chart, right, for macro structure, but the purpose of the small Renko is you want precision. So I want to know the exact supply demand zone on the smaller Renko, because that's the level where I'm going to get the tightest risk reward. But if I found that if I had the big Renko zones on the smaller Renko, it'd be like, well, I'm in the zone, and then I would find myself like preemptively just trying to get into a trade because we're in the zone. So now with this framework, it's like I don't need to do that, because I don't even get into a trade just because we touch a zone either. Like, it's not just like I touch it and I get into it. Our triggers are these dots right here. So I'll only get in when we get like something like that. Or if I'm really anticipating this to happen, then I'll preemptively get it. See that green dot right there, an immediate like reaction. So like this is it. And then the risk technically could be the structure low, or this green band, or the pivot, right? Not that I would actually take this trade. I'm just showing you an example. But every day I show up and trade. I mean, I think I figured the best way to learn this, you know, yes, you'll watch the content and stuff like that in terms of the course, so you understand the basics of it, because obviously in a live stream it's hard to go into that much detail. But the best thing is live trading, because there's a lot of systems out there where, you know, you could learn about them, and then on paper it looks good, but in the live market, when you're trading live, can't you execute? That's the hard part, right? I mean, that's where I think the rubber meets the road, because if you can have the most beautiful system and all this and all that, but in the live market, and it's not just like in one day, like one day, it's got to be like, what about in a positive gamma environment? What about negative environment? What about when we're high volatile, low volatile? Like in different market regimes, can you as a trader perform with the system? So this would be the re-entry right here, and then we get the break. But we're in a cage still, so I'm not interested, right? We're still chopping around. But one thing that's notable is the fact that we failed above the 1030 open print. 1030 open, sellers took control here. Buyers tried again, sellers are back in control. We just broke structure. We got some bids down below, but we're not really seeing a meaningful move through these lows here. So for me, I'm not really interested in participating at the moment. It's a little trappy, but I'm not saying that we can't get that move, because technically we're still pinning right around this 9,000 level. That's the other thing we have to pay attention to. Did we even take out the IB low? No, we haven't. We're still back inside. We're kind of trading around the opening range low. Yeah. I don't want to sell support right here. The better entry would have been right there. Or on this dot right there. But it's a little too close for comfort here. Let's see if these boys can at least get through this major negative here. If we do that, maybe we should see some speed come through. Well, we took, I think, like 5 trades so far in this session. I did trade overnight too. There we go. So that dot right there, and again, we're just looking for the high probability reactions. So one thing I look at is a 1-minute chart. Look at the ATR. What's the ATR on the 1 minute? It's 123 ticks. Therefore, it's acceptable to target at least 60 ticks, right? At least 60 ticks. So that's like the minimum scalp. And then I just use this to knock it out. And look, even if you just did that, like even with your slippage, like let's say you took this trade, even with slippage, you still would have hit the minimum target right there. Of course, you would obviously be fully aware that, hey, be careful. This is a major level here, 75s. Exactly. Bingo. Exactly. That's exactly right, my friend. You see that? That's exactly what we're dealing with. And that's why, like earlier, I was like, you guys, this is until we actually get some meaningful move away from this, like we close and accept below this mother bar, then we're still in a cage on a 1 hour. We're still inside of a cage. There's no catalyst either, guys. I mean, that's the other thing. There's no news this week that I'm aware of. So all we're dealing with is just pure price action, you know, and order flow to make our decisions here today. That's great. Let's see, where are we right now? We're negative down below 28,900. Map is just pure negative. Well, good questions here, man. That was good for asking those questions. Let's take a look at Gexa, see what's going on there in that side of the woods. Look at the ES, guys. Look at the ES. We got ES over here. Our lug levels. We just bounced off of our lower target, which would be 7507s. I'm not trading this, but we use this as a reference for the overall market breadth. Right? We want to know what's going on with the S&P. We kind of want to know what's going on with the Max 7. We want to know what's going on with software, semis, even though you don't need to see all that. I mean, it can be overwhelming, especially if you're just learning, but it's good to know, right? So in this instance, gap up, they attempted to fill, and they came into our main level here. Well, actually, they didn't reach the main target, which would have been big blue. But what did happen is you see we did reject off GEX1, right? So that GEX1 failed to accept, took out RTH high. We broke out and broke back in. And same premise, right? We're like in this cage right now, right? This cage right here. And it's not really called a cage. It's called a balanced value zone, right? Where price is balanced, right? But bottom line is it feels like a cage because price can't escape it. Price can't escape it. Then you can also just look at this one right over here. So this looks like a breakout pullback, but we're pressing here and we're beginning to build some value under 25. So if we can continue to hold under 25s, then it makes sense for us to get down to X2. Let me drop my liquidity levels on here. I don't think I have liquidity levels on here. Don't have them? Let's drop them. Oh, is this the break? Is this the move? Did some updates to the liquidity levels indicator. So I'm off the chart. See if we get some meaningful size here on ES. And what you'll find too is this cross market dynamic where you'll see like a large order get placed on the ES and it actually affect what goes on in the Nasdaq. And vice versa with its levels. When price reaches a level, you'll find that, okay, cool, once this is done, then you see, or maybe like in Nasdaq's consolidating while the ES is like trending. Once ES gets to its destination, all of a sudden it's like, okay, now the Nasdaq starts moving too, right? So the cross market analysis is pretty helpful. Anyways, we are just basing here at zero gamma. 28,986s. Alrighty. Watching this 5-minute structure here to see if we're gonna be able to clear out 5-minute low at 963s. Maybe a quick scalp short into the 963s, but I'm not ready yet. I don't think I'm going to take it there. I'm going to wait to see if they give us one more liquidation. Because look at how these boys have been holding this low, and they keep pressing, and it's getting heavy. So it feels like it wants to just like burst through. Feels like it, but let's see. Renko's now beginning to push outside. There's the break. So we had that initial break right there. Boss one. They came back, retrace, and then we get that reacceptance outside, right? So they reclaimed it, and then boom, breakdown confirmed, which it's a little too close for the low for me. And they did take out that 5-minute low. So now let's see if we end up taking out the IB low next. Is it time? What time is it? 9:44. Look at the time. 15 minutes. This new 15-minute candle is about to open up. Let's pull up that 15-minute candle. And if we just take a look, this is our opening range low. We have not done much. You know, it looked like a rotation here on the 15 that they were going to be able to take it out. But then look how they trapped these guys here at the high. Up the high, and now let's see if this next 15-minute candle ends up taking out the IB low. I'm not interested in taking that trade, to be honest. I'm not really interested. We'll see what happens here. You know, it's just been okay. This might be it. Let's see if they're going to be able to clear it out. But we got that 50 break. 53s. And we got major support or some potential reaction level here at 906s and GEX3. So 28,900. We know that's also an important level. Pull this up real quick. We do have some negative gamma down there, so we'll see what happens once we get to that level there. Look at how price just reclaimed that level. See, but the momentum play would have been that short. But again, you know, this is why I was not comfortable taking that. 15-minute sweep of the low. We're back inside. This is that cage that I'm talking about. You see, let's go back to that 1 minute again. Cage is still in play. But if I take off all the levels here, just take everything off. Came underneath it, rotate back above it, back inside of it. Try it again right here. The wick, couldn't do it. Immediately absorbed, right? Immediately absorbed. And now they're back up, trying to take it out again. Expand the cage. That's the cage now. That's the cage. So this is where everyone's losing money right now because everyone's trying to get this big continuation after this big dump. They saw this pump, they saw the dump, and they're like, well, I was trying to get that, the breakout. This is where your idea, right, is correct. But the chart, the price action, the real-time price action is going to contradict what should happen, right, based on what we know, based on what technical analysis says. So now we got the Renko confirmation right there, but should I take that? Yeah, I guess I'll take a scalp there. I'll take that scalp. I'll take that scalp there on the Renko chart. We'll see. 10 points. Let's see if we get that push down now. Are these boys ready to take out that IB low? I don't know. Let's take a look at the book map. Watching that level here, 75, if they can reclaim. But I'm up right now, 10 points on this. Up, there's another 15 points. Stop's already a break even. Because we're in a cage. Renko looks like it wants to push down to our next flip, which is going to be priced at 923s. So there's my 25 points, 35 points. We'll go ahead and target that IB low, maybe. I'll just turn on the trail. Turn on the trail. We're actually at the IB low already. They're going to probably give us a pretty big reaction. How about I just take that profit, guys? How about I just take that profit? I'll just take that profit. Done. They put an offer here for 176 contracts. Let's see if that ends up creating an acceleration. It could be a catalyst for a move through the IB low. All right, done. I think I hit more than 100 points today. I don't think, let's see how we did. Let's take some inventory and we can just wrap it up here on the stream. So, book map, here we go. We started the first trade at 10 a.m. Is that right? Oh no, we started at 9:39. So the first trade got long, 9:41. Yeah, 9:41. I think that was, what is that? I don't even know. 25 points. Let's see, yeah, 25 points. Then took the short for 15 points. So what's that? 25 plus 15. That's 40 points. And then we took this long, 40 points, and then what was that? Target one got hit. Yeah, it was a scalp for the I forgot what this was, but another 25 points. So that's already 70 points for the session. And then we took the short for I think 13 points. 83 points on the session there. And then we just took, oh yeah, I got long here again, right here. For another 70 ticks, we'll just call it 15 points. Commissions. 30, like, I don't even know, I just lost count. And then we took a short just now for 126 ticks, so another 25, 30 points. I don't even know, I think that's like 100 points for the session. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, 248 points actually. Is that right? That's not right. That's not right. I think it's because I was trading two contracts. I don't know, maybe it's doubling it up. So that's the stats. Probably, I mean, I normally take losses. I normally take paper cuts, but for whatever reason, I guess today I'm just doing good. But yeah, so that's just from RTH session, not counting what happened last night. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So that was a pretty decent session. I'll hang out here for a little bit more if you guys have any questions, but pretty decent plays today. Pretty calm, not too difficult. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Price is beginning to flip now on the big boy Renko. Big Renko getting bearish, confirmed flip, but we need to start taking out this low. So highly likely we got to test at this low, about 40 points away. Don't want to see them flip though, right? So let's put a threshold here quick so we can just see. That's why I like Renko, because you can predict the next bar. You can predict the next candle. Here we go. 9:15. So let's see if they can push through. Adios. Trader salsa lessons. Let's see if we can push through this low. Get through 900s. It is a negative Gex level. Gex is pretty heavy. Net Gex is pretty negative. So let's see if we get some speed through these lows. Watching too on this 1 minute as we are testing the bottom of the cage again. And our lug level at 906s. And Gex 3. See what happens. All right. Oh yeah, you guys can jump into the free Discord if you're not already in the free Discord. Let's see if we pop. I would not buy this, guys. This is probably going to speed through these lows because this is a negative Gex level. Let's see if we get some acceleration through this level now. Some strong acceleration. If you're not already in the trade, you don't want to be chasing this trade. Our candle's about to close in 7 minutes. So we know what that means as we approach the last few moments of the candle. Oh yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. I will be dropping some videos here next couple days on the framework. Also for the group, we got the new info bar. If you don't already have the info bar, we did make some modifications to it actually, so FYI. But if you see there at the top of the chart, let's go here, you'll see. Maybe I can drag it over without, you guys can see there, so I don't mess up the whole chart there, but it tells us the lag, tells us to change a day, change percentage on the day, net change, and just the daily levels, nothing crazy. Eventually, this is going to be tied into our gamma levels, as well as our zero gamma. So eventually, it's going to read all that stuff, and then it will actually tell you straight up what's up, so you're aware. Kind of what you see here on my top left. Oh, you can't see that right here. Similar to this, we'll have some stuff like that. The other thing, I mean, we're looking at too is just kind of improving overall the liquidity map that we're using, the liquidity levels. So we'll probably end up building some type of more of a book map feel for liquidity. But I'm trying to do it where it doesn't make the chart too crowded. That's the most important thing. It's like you can have all these tools, which are great, but when you have them on your chart all at once, it's like more hurtful than helpful. Right? So it's got to be a balance of what's essential in that moment, right? So that's the other thing we're going to try to do too, is maybe build some type of like scenario where we have a little pad where you can just turn on the auction map, turn on gamma map, turn on heat map. So then that way you don't need to have everything on your chart all the time. So it looks like we're trying to break through here, this IB low. See if they're going to be able to do so. It keeps stacking the bids lower. So they're trying to pull price down, and sellers are happily taking out the bid. All right, we're about to wrap it up here on the stream. This 15-minute bar has 3 minutes left, and let's see if they get this expansion. ES is also dumping as well, or beginning to trade below its current, what was the IB low, or it is IB low. They just took it out. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Hourly chart beginning to break down as well. Oh, let's watch what happens here as we start approaching our value area low around 843s. So it actually does make sense that they end up breaking through this level here. So I would think they could easily clear 853. They've already taken care of this area here, so they could probably come down now and start testing down here. So yeah, even here's already been taken care of too. So these boys have already done their business here. So this can now come back and potentially start trying to repair this low from Friday, from 10 a.m. That's something that potentially could be the magnet for price here. So we'll see. breakdown through last week's POC, going back into it right now. So if we can probably hang out here for a little bit, and then from there maybe we get that acceleration. But you know, structurally we're still creating higher highs and higher lows. So even with all this, so until it actually happens, we still need to understand that the overall structure is still holding up. Right. So all right, gang, I'm gonna call it here up for the stream. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit that like button. Adios.